Welcome, everyone. It is Monday once again. We're back. It is a new week. New week, new stream. We're back here. What is this place? Good question. You will find out in a few seconds. Got a different area has been unlocked. What is this? Okavango Flow? That's right, everyone. It is the Okavango Delta in Botswana. Very nice. Anyway, this is another game development stream. I'm going to open up godot, and then I'm going to describe changes that I have made since last time. If only it would load. There it is. Also, this is today's art. It is some kind of strange creature. I don't really know. At this point, I just don't know anymore. We're going to open up Celeste. The project is not actually named Celeste, but that is what I chose to name it. Also, anyway, let me greet people. Welcome Stream Elements, welcome Ronmu, welcome Edward Bro. Hope you're all doing well on this Monday. And of course, we always gotta load up the Windows subsystem for Linux. And then once that loads up, you gotta attach to your existing tmux session from last time. Alright, so your question, you're like, Wolfie, what did you change? Things look different. What does this look actually the same? Well, what did you change since last time? Well, good question. I will answer this question right now. Let's take a look. So let's see. The title of the stream is I have added falling platforms. That is the major thing that I've added. There's some other things that are like a bit minor that I've changed. If you remember last time when I was working on this, what did I do? I added these spike moving platforms, and then I added mushrooms that are facing different directions. Now those mushrooms will bounce you depending on the positioning. Like if they're facing the right, it'll bounce you to the right. And the way I did that last time was I had a bounce direction that you would set, and then you would set it to like -1 or +1. Welcome to my... I've determined that that is kind of annoying. And wouldn't it be nice to have the bounce direction be just based on the rotation? And then I was like, wait, I can do that. So instead of you specifying the bounce direction manually, I take the rotation of the mushroom, and then I get the angle, and then that tells you where you're going to be launched. So that was added. It's there now. Let's see when I added that. Path for ladder, spike moving platform, different directional mushrooms. Okay, this is when I did it. It was on Friday. It was actually right after the stream. Compute mushroom bounce angle, sorry, bounce direction from angle. Oh, another thing that I've also added, when you collide with the mushroom, it will align you to a certain position. This will guarantee that it's always consistent. Now, one issue that I noticed when testing this was it would change the results depending on like what your velocity was when you hit the mushroom. Because let's say you're falling from a high distance, right? If you jumped off from here and you land on the mushroom, you might collide with the mushroom like over here, in which case it would launch you, and then the trajectory, that's not even a word, trajectory would be completely different compared to if you were to like fall off from here. Because if you fell from here, you would perhaps intersect over here. And you might not think that would make a big difference, but actually I found out that it does. And so what I did was when you collide with the mushroom, I've added a new marker to the mushroom. We'll take a look at what this looks like. We have mushroom scene. Now we have a marker 2D. It is this point. You might see it right here. It is the center of the mushroom, but not, you know, not the exact coordinates. Offset a little bit. So when you collide with the mushroom, it actually sets your position to this one. And then that ensures that no matter where you intersect it with it, you get the same amount of positioning, the height and all that. And then I also set it based on the direction that you collided with it from. right? Exactly. Things you gotta consider. Welcome X-Tag. And also, let's say, you know, you collide from here and you fall down. Well, you might not necessarily want it to be set here. I have it set to, so that if you fell onto the mushroom, it would set the collision point to be equal to, I think, like the top of it. Let me actually check the logic. Mushroom script. This one. Okay, if you're falling, align the body of the colliding thing with the top of the mushroom. And this will give you more consistent behavior sometimes. Because sometimes if you collide with the middle, it's like, it doesn't launch you far enough. So I've done that, I've added that logic. The logic for determining the angle, it is determined from this one. You get the rotation, you get the up vector, you get the angle, and then that gives you a vector corresponding to the direction that you should be bouncing in. Welcome, Panis. Alright, and then what? And then, what is this one? When falling, only climb wall when direction pressed. What is that? Oh, okay, I remember. So the logic for that, what if I just play through the game? Also, I'm gonna get to this. Okay, we have falling platforms. The logic is basically if you were jumping, and if you have the wall climb ability, what would happen is that you would constantly be grabbing onto the wall even if you're not pushing toward it, which sometimes is not what you want. So I changed it so that you only grab the wall if you're pushing in the direction of the wall. This will prevent, you know, always grabbing if you don't want to. And this is relevant, for example, when you're falling, right? If you're falling, you don't want to constantly be grabbing the wall, stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes you just want to fall. Okay, I've adjusted rooms to handle new mushroom logic. This was, I had to rebalance some things, because now that the mushroom centers your position when you collide with it, some rooms did not work anymore. Also, welcome Verilog. No, water drinking time is in about 47 minutes from now. Okay, and then, oh, I've also added a hazard to the crate. Now, this was a thing that I had considered earlier. Basically, we had an issue where if you push the crate onto a mushroom and it started bouncing up and down, if you stood over here, you would collide with the crate and then it wouldn't kill you. It would just like push you into the floor, and it was a bit weird. Now I have this collision zone, and this zone will only occur if you like are between the floor and the crate. If you collide with this hitbox right here, it will kill you. And so that's, you know, good thing to add. How will jumping off walls work if you have to be pressing on them? No, it's only for the initial contact. Once you're on the wall, you don't have to press anything. The issue was like, if you're standing here and you jumped on the wall, that's fine. You want to grab onto it because you're moving toward it. But let's say you climb down, right? You're now on the floor. If you jump straight up, previously you would automatically hold onto the wall, which you don't really want. You want to be, if you jump and then you hold right, then you're on the wall. But once you're on the wall, you're stuck on the wall. You don't have to be pressing right. So that's some logic. And then what? We had hazard to the crate. I removed some stuff. Okay, disable obstacles when not visible. Oh, this was an optimization that I made. Since everything is in one big map, I noticed that everything was constantly running even if you can't see it. Let's say like you're in this room, right? This platform would still be moving around. I don't know, this optimization probably isn't really needed because there's not too much stuff going on. But I have it set up so that if you leave a room, the things that are not in the room that you're currently in don't get evaluated. And so maybe once I add more rooms, it'll be, you know, a bit more noticeable. But now they're disabled when not visible. And then the big thing that is new for today is that I've added falling platforms. Now these falling platforms, it's the kind where if you jump on them, they will shake for a little bit and then they'll fall. and they will fall through the ground, and then after a certain amount of time they get reset. They'll show up where they used to be. Let me show you what that looks like here. We have platform, falling platform. Okay, so this is the platform sprite, and there's an animation. You click on the animation player and play the shake animation. It'll shake, and then after that shake it will start falling. And I think this was my first time using an animation player like this, but you can actually use it to set properties. So like you can change the position, it'll go left and right. And then at the end you can set properties. You can then, after the shake is done, set is falling to true. I think that's cool because you don't have to do it in code. You don't have to be like, wait 0.1 second and then have a timer and then check, and then if it's triggered, set this thing. You just set the property right in here. And that was pretty cool. And it works. And then what? And then, okay, and then after some time has elapsed, the falling platform will show up where it used to be. So you don't have to like kill yourself to get things to respawn. And then what? And then added some platforms. And then I updated some rooms. I was like, since I have this falling platform now, I'm going to add, this could be usable even before you get the ability to jump. It could be walking on platforms. So let me play through the game as we have it right now. That's right, the entire game. There's a few new rooms, some changes to some existing rooms. And we will find out. Alright, let's reset the player status. Reset the climb ability. Let's reset. Okay, that should be good. Alright. New tech. The game is now here. Alright, this looks the same. Basically, this is the same. We move over, this stuff is the same. We have that room up there that was added last time. We go down. This room is the same, right? It's literally the same as it was. This room, you're looking at this, you're like, something looks different. That's right, it goes downward. If you remember previously, this room would go straight to this room. But then there was two empty rooms down here. I was like, I could add some, sideways mushrooms, I could add some falling platforms. So now you go down this way. And this is the puzzle. You go down here. It's like, whoa, what the? You almost got bounced into the spikes. And then you learn how to, climb ladders up. This is your first time seeing a pushable crate. You can push the crate this way, and then it goes there. Now there's an inclination. You could be like, oh, I could just fall off. And then, oh, but now you're stuck because you can't jump. You can't jump, so that you're stuck. You have to go back. And then, now you got to climb the ladder first. To teach you that order matters. Okay, you fall down, you push the crate into the spike. That's right, sideways mushrooms. Alright, now this is the first time you see falling platforms. You jump on this thing, you're like, whoa, what? Oh my god, it's dead. You gotta keep going, you gotta go really fast. The mushroom bounces you to this side, you go this way. And then you go on this guy. And after this, very similar to what was here before. Fall on this thing, fall this way, go up. And then this is the same. This is exactly as it used to be. I think I accidentally changed something. I noticed that when I'm pushing the blocks and it falls through an area like this, it's slowed down a little bit. I don't know why that is. That level with the two moving platforms, is it possible for them to get unaligned? The two moving platforms. They will reset. If you die, they will get reset. So, I mean, I haven't had any issues with that room, so maybe it's fine. Maybe if you waited like 2 minutes, maybe they'll get unaligned. Also, welcome Slime Molder. Okay, this room is the same as it used to be. Go this way, go this way. Push in the crate. You already know. Alright, then you go up, then you get the jump ability. Now you're jumping. Okay, and then in the upcoming few rooms, I have replaced some of the platforms with falling ones. This one right here, if you remember before, it used to be like platforms, not really platforms, it's like solid ground, kind of like this, but it was here. But now it's you know, now it's falling platforms. You gotta jump, you gotta time your jumps. It's actually very lenient, but you can do it. And look, they show back up, they respawn. And now you go this way, this room is the same. Push this one there. Oh, what the? Okay, and then you jump. Oh, I could also later demonstrate the crates that kill you. If you push the crates onto a mushroom, and then the crate falls on you, it will kill you. So let's see, push this one here. Oh, I did it wrong. I've already messed up. Okay, gotta jump on the crate first. See, I've been playing this game so much, I don't even remember that I have to do this first. Alright, this is on there, you jump. I failed again. I'm simply demonstrating what a real player would do. If they were in this situation, you could expect them to maybe do that. Okay, now you jump this way. You make this jump. Okay, this one, this is the same. It's not really the same. This one, I've adjusted the upper room. You'll see it later. That room was not there before. Welcome to Trish's. Okay, you jump on this way. You gotta jump over the mushroom. If you beat this game without dying, you're not a real player. Exactly. You're not meant to beat this the first try. Okay, you got this one was replaced with a falling platform. Also, if you remember last time, this platform used to go all the way across. It used to be that you were supposed to go from here down there. Now this time, you're meant to go back to the left. And you jump on this one, then you jump on this one, and then you don't die, but you could hypothetically jump into the spikes many times. If you were to fail, you simply, okay, that one, it really makes you think. You gotta go faster. You know, if you don't go fast enough, you won't make that. Okay, now this one is new. You got new jumping mechanics. You gotta jump real fast. Not even that fast, just somewhat fast. I think this is fun though. When I was playing this, I was like, this is pretty cool. I enjoy jumping side to side like this. I don't know why that one didn't move. Hold on, what was that about? Anyway, we go here. This is the new room as well. Now this will launch you onto this mushroom, and then since you have horizontal velocity, you actually get launched onto this one. Right, look at this. Whoa. As the player might expect, you know, they might look at this and be like, oh, I'm gonna land over here. But then they remember, you're like, oh wait, there's a velocity. Is, you know, you maintain your horizontal velocity, so you actually go to this one. Alright, then you go down, and then you go down again. Now you go down this way. And this room is the same. Push the crate. Jump on this one. Always forgetting about that velocity. Can't believe it. You can't be forgetting. Alright, this room is the same. And then this is the room where you get the ledge grab. Now, much of this is the same as it used to be. Okay, and then I've updated this platform to be a falling platform. I think this was here last time. I showed this one last time. So, you know, you jump here. This is to show you can grab onto the crates as well. And then you go this way. You can go to the left. That'll bring, you know, let me just show it for people that have not seen it. Basically, if you jump off the crate, you land right here, you're faced with this. You can't get there until you get the gliding ability. But you know, maybe you'll remember that later. You come back this way, you get the clover. That was not supposed to happen. I didn't know you could collide with this thing while in this room. Maybe I should adjust that a little bit. Anyway, you go back this way, right? Go to the left. Welcome cryptic command. Okay, this stuff is the same. Same as it used to be. Push the crates onto the other crates. And then you can jump from here. Okay, and then, you know, you go up this way. This is the same as usual. Oh, this one is not the same as usual. This one, I've replaced these platforms with falling platforms. Because if I remember last time I was like, this room isn't even challenging. What challenge even is there, right? There is none. You go here, you gotta then jump. You gotta time your jumps. It adds a little bit of challenge. And this one, I think I updated this one a little bit. This mushroom is raised slightly because of my adjustments to the mushroom positioning. So now it's hardly noticeable. It's basically the same, right? You push this thing over here, and then you make this jump. And then this room is the same, basically. Oh, it's not the same. I have this, this platform is now a falling platform. Welcome, Neo Zero. Hope you're doing well. Okay, and then, you know, do the same stuff. And then this room is the same, except the right side. The right side, you saw this earlier. I didn't even mention that. But before, when you go up through this room, you're like, you see a little bit of what's coming up next. You're like, oh, what's the deal with this room? Like, you only focus on this stuff. Also, welcome, Wishy Wishy. Okay, then you do, oh, did not mean to do that. Push this thing here, and then you do the jumps. I think I updated this one. This one used to have a one-way platform over here. I've added it to just be like this. So if you wanted to go back down, you can. Okay, this room I think is the same. You push this crate onto the mushroom. And then you go this way. And then you push this one over there. And this room is the same. I will eventually add something to the right side. And then this is when you get the climb ability. And then you go up, and then this room I believe is the same as it was last time. I will adjust these to not be spikes because, you know, they kind of blend in with the clouds. At some point they will become thorns because I think that makes more sense. Okay, this room I believe is the same as it was. If you want to get the clover, you got to do this stuff. If you don't want to get the clover, you can just go. You can simply just continue forth. But you know, maybe you want to get the clover. It's totally gettable. Alright, then you get this one. And then the next room, I believe, is the same as it was. Alright. It's literally impossible. No, it's so possible. It's literally so possible. Also, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I've determined a way to tutorialize things. Like, remember when I was like, oh, I don't know if like the player's gonna know that they can press like down and jump to drop off the ledge. I was thinking maybe I can have signs in the game. You walk up to a sign, it shows you information. It's like, hey, you can press down and jump, etc. Okay, now you're back here, but then, you know, now you have the climb ability. You can go this way. And once over here, you're like, wait, I've been here before. I remember this place. Then you go up. And then this is this is the test room that I've added. This is basically where we left off last time. This room is not actually going to be in the game, but I would like to incorporate this stuff. This thing I think is really cool. Is if you jump on this thing, you get launched up there, right? Isn't that such a cool thing? Right, the reason why I added the logic to have the mushroom center you when you fall on them was that I noticed that if you jumped from here, it would launch you in a different place. If you just fell, it would launch you like here, etc. But you know, this is nice. It's so nice, right? Look at it, it's so appealing. It's so fun to just do this. Anyway, this is where I was testing the falling platform. This is where I was testing if you contact the platform, but you approach from below, it doesn't fall. This is because I have logic that detects whether the body that's colliding with it has a velocity going downward. So if you're going up, it doesn't collide. If you go down, then it does. And then it also works with crates. If you push a crate onto it, it then also falls. I was thinking I could maybe have something, you know, some kind of puzzle related to that. Or maybe not, I don't know. Wait, I guess I haven't actually tested. If you push a crate onto these mushrooms, whatever. Okay, yes, that was me demonstrating that the crates can kill you now. If you push a crate onto this one, and then, you know, oh, that's not supposed to happen. That thing where you ledge grab, this thing is not supposed to happen. But anyway, this one, we have new crate collision. If you collide with crate, it will kill you. If crate pushes you into the ground, you die. What happens if you slide slow down the wall, your butt hits the falling platform, it will count it as the floor. Oh. it'll do that, I guess. Yes. It does work. Maybe I should have it so that you actually then fall onto it. It's like if you press down, then you're in the idle position. But maybe if you just gradually fall down and then touch it, it should set you to that. Let me take notes. Put that in my notes. Game ideas. If falling, not even falling, if slowly descending onto falling platform should be set to idle. Okay. Anyway, so that's there. That's basically the state of the game so far. We have 2 things that we could add mechanics for. We can add more things related to falling platforms. We could add, you know, I also only had what is it called? These things were only in one room. I could go back to some previous rooms and add those. Or maybe, you know, just add some more stuff for now. But anyway, you got things. Things are happening. And I think that's cool. Anyway, that is a summary. And now we move on to the part of the stream where I design things. I still couldn't really think of like that many climbing related challenges that I could add. Like I'm thinking like what can I add? The previous rooms that I had, these ones, like I feel like this room is kind of the extent of climbing challenges I can think of. You know, you don't want to climb straight up, you gotta climb and then jump. And then, you know, this one teaches you can climb crates that are stacked on top of each other. That's a thing you can do. This one, you know, you got things happening. And then what though? What if for this one you climb into a mushroom and then the mushroom launches you? Because we haven't climbed into a mushroom yet. That could be a thing. Then I'm like, what else can I even add, right? We talked about like the spikes that are timed. You know, sometimes you'll have spikes on walls. What if you hit a loose rock that makes you fall a bit? A loose rock. Would expand on that. It's like, is that different from the falling platforms? A loose rock. What if the mushroom climbs into you? Welcome, Zeb. I don't think that's doable. How would that even make sense? How can the mushroom even climb? That's absurd. What if they could though? What if the mushroom... We should add a room where the crates can kill you. I think that would be a good mechanic to teach the player that, you know, you don't always want to be underneath a falling crate. But how would I make it so that you would have to push this thing onto a crate to progress? A lot of game design, you know, you gotta decide. You have to determine how to challenge the player. And that in itself is a challenge. What if the crate was full of TNT? A crate full of TNT. What if we attached a mushroom to a crate? You could push the crate and then there would be a mushroom on the side of it, and then you would push a crate and a mushroom, and then maybe you push the crate with the mushroom into another crate, and then that crate gets bounced because of the mushroom. Is that a thing? Can I try that? Put that in my notes. Mushroom on crate. Oh, that would, wait a second. That would also make it so that you can move the mushroom. Like, let's say there's like an area that you can't reach, but then if you had a mushroom on top of a crate, you could push the crate and then you can then jump on the mushroom. But if you got a power up that bounce you after a couple seconds, you know, it's too complicated. After a couple seconds, like a delayed bounce, like a mushroom you can eat and then not controllable jumps, maybe. It's possible. Let me try this idea though. Crate that you can push that has a mushroom on top. Okay, so let's see. Got crate with mushroom, and then you bounce. I feel that'd be kind of like tricky to time. Maybe. Okay, let's try adding this. Breaking new ground and crates, exactly. Basically, a lot of game dev is just combining two things that already exist. All right, so let's see here. Let's make a new scene. Crate with mushroom. All right, we've got a crate with mushroom. This one, you'll simply have a crate. We'll move the crate. You now have a crate, right? And then inside that crate, you have a mushroom. Be over here. Okay, the mushroom, you gotta move it up. Right here. I'm wondering, does this just work? That is my question. Does this just work? Let's try it. Let's go to our world. Let's move the player to this room. It's that mashup game. So true. Yesterday. No, that was Saturday. You can climb, and then you can grab walls. Okay, so now we go to obstacles, and then you go add your mushroom crate with mushroom to here. Okay, now you have crate with mushroom. Let's add this thing to the scene. It's not being added. Why is it not being added? Welcome, Captain Krabs. How goes platformer? Pretty good. We have new ideas for today. Crate with mushroom. Now, why is this not added? What about this? Why does that get added? Crate with mushroom. Oh, because I didn't save it. This is a thing that happens sometimes when you don't save. Okay, we've added it. Let's go here. Oh, it shows up. It's right there. Okay, let's delete one of these. All right, let's try it. Does this work? That is my question. What the heck? You see that? What was that? Yeah, welcome Raiders. Hello, hello Tifa. Oh, it's because it's contacting itself. The mushroom is in contact with the crate. All right, let me shout. What are you doing? Shout out Tifa. Yeah. Co-working and studying. Hope your studying went well. Welcome Tipa, welcome Larky, welcome 9-Volt Worm, welcome Robo2, welcome Hey Sunny Boy, and Vachiam and Lurkaroo and Aura. The usual classic. To raid and politely lurk. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for the raid. Same goes for everyone else. If you have other stuff to do, feel free to do those other things. I'm basically working on a game, and we've added a concept of having mushrooms on top of crates. This game has many mechanics. We got pushable crates, we got mushrooms, Mushrooms that bounce you. We got falling platforms. We got spikes. You can bounce on mushrooms. What more could you even want, right? Literally nothing. But I have to figure out why the mushroom is bouncing itself. That's right, spikes. There are spikes. We also have a very cool death animation. Look at this. Whoa, look at an explosion. Isn't that such a satisfying death animation? It's so nice, right? Exactly. Anyway, so we've recently decided that we're gonna have a mushroom that has a crate on it. And what this will do is it will allow you to push the crate and then there's a mushroom on top. So it's like a movable platform. But for some reason, when I run the game, it just bounces on its own. And I think that's because the crate, we have logic for detecting whether a crate has collided with a mushroom, and it is colliding with itself, which is something I want to avoid. Let me demonstrate what this looks like. You can push a crate onto a mushroom, and then it will bounce as usual. But you know, since the crate is always on the mushroom, it's weird stuff happens. Let's say if you fall underneath a crate while it's bouncing, it will kill you. And that is new functionality. That used to not be there, but it is there now. And it is also fun. Anyway, okay, so why is this happening? Mushroom with crate. Crate with mushroom. Now, do I have to like, I don't know, like exclude some behavior here? Do I have to maybe offset? Will this happen if I offset the mushroom? If they're not in contact, what happens? Okay, well that works, but I don't want that to, I don't want to have to do that. But let's just test it for now. Let's see if you can push it. I probably should have placed the player in a place that's not so annoying. Okay, so we go here. You can push the mushroom. Okay, so that is nice. The mushroom, okay, and then you can also bounce. So now we have a movable platform. You can move the mushroom on your own. That's nice. Now I want it to, we should ideally have it so that this will bounce you. I have it so that it only bounces you if you fall on it. But maybe I should reconsider. But also, what if you push this one into this? Okay, then it does that weird thing. That is quite strange. So we have the player. Put the player right here. Okay, so we can bounce on this. Can go this way. What if we push it here? It goes up. And then it just keeps going up. Now, why is that happening though? Why does it keep going up? And it also doesn't respawn? Wait. Oh, because the thing doesn't have... Okay, I see. I see. This thing doesn't respawn because I have it set up so that the root object needs to have a reset method, but it doesn't. But okay, let's see. How do I make this thing not collide with itself? That is a question that scientists have been asking for years. No one really knows the answer. Crate mushroom. Okay, so we should set it so that the mushroom, it should only apply it if the parent of the mushroom is not the crate, right? Is there a way to like add some kind of exclusion perhaps? If body is crate and get parent is not equal to body, right? So this is if you are in contact with yourself, then it should not trigger. So now if we were to move this mushroom back here, it should not automatically collide. Okay, so that's good. It works. Game logic works as expected. Oh, and now it also doesn't perpetually bounce itself upward. I wonder if that's what was happening. When you move this thing up, maybe this thing moves up before the mushroom moves up, and then suddenly this crate is now in contact with the mushroom itself, and then it's like it gets into this infinite loop. Maybe. Welcome, Tag Barrel. Okay, so I think that's it. So that works. You can then bounce on this one. And then if you were to push this one on here, and then, oh, look at this. Then you can bounce on this. Wait, this is an entirely new concept. You can then, oh man, look at that. Okay, so you can think of a situation where maybe there's a platform up here that you can't get to. But then you push this thing onto that thing, and then suddenly you can go much higher. Very nice. All right, well that's what you get. You just combine existing things and it just works. Welcome, Polyglitch. All right, but there is one thing I need to change. Is I need to add a thing that will reset this. Because currently I have it set up so that the crate has a reset method. Let me demonstrate what I mean here. Is that if I push this one here and I reset, it stays where it is, which is not what we want. You'll notice if I push other crates and I reset, the crates go back to where they used to be. I need to then add some kind of like custom helper thing, or like composite objects like this also get reset. I think it should be pretty simple. Let's add a script. New script. Reset child. Right, this one is a utility script. Reset child. This one will have function reset. And then what will happen here is that the child. So get child index, what, 0? Is that what it is? Child 0? Fetches a child node by its index. Okay, so we can set this. Let's see, we got on ready var child, which is a node, equals get child 0. Okay, so to reset, you would have child dot reset. If child has node, child has, no, not has node, has method reset, and then call child reset. Okay, and then all we gotta do is attach this script to this one. It should just work. Ideally. Oh, it's gone? Wait, what? It's gone. On ready var child equals get child reset. Why is that happening? Great. Character body 2D. Now, why did that happen? Oh, because I don't have it set. Because okay. It's because in the reset, we set the position. Now with this one specifically, we want to also store the position of this guy. Wait a second. Okay, this might be slightly more complicated. Okay, I'm gonna have it. Here's what I'm going to do. On ready, we're gonna replace the node with its child, simply to get rid of all these complications. No, but that would also mess up some other stuff. Actually, I'll have to think about it. Welcome, Squall Cry. Hope you're having a good Monday. Got nested objects. Nested objects have their own issues. Child get child 0. Really makes you think. really causes you to consider how things work. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we don't just want to call reset on child, because that's going to reset its position to its global position, which might not make sense if this is in fact a thing. If this is in fact some kind of thing. Position, initial position is 0. How's everyone how I can't even talk. How is everyone's Monday going though? You're having a good Monday, start of the week. It's already mid-April. Can you believe that? This month is already almost half over. Before you know it's gonna be May. I'm gonna be like, what the heck? I thought it was March. Can't believe it. Suddenly you're telling me then next thing you know it's gonna be like July. We're gonna skip June, it's gonna go straight from May to July. You're like, man, how did this even happen? How does that even occur? No one really knows. Well, alright, let's see. Crate with mushroom. Child reset. So we have the global position. This will be the global position. Child reset. So if I don't reset and I just pass, right, it stays where it is. And then you can do this, right? That's fine. That's good. But I would like it to reset. Maybe this one we just reset. Maybe we just reset its position, right? Do we need to reset other stuff? I don't think so. So we can store initial position. Oh, but this one also has velocity. Crate velocity. If you don't call reset on the position, if we don't call reset, then the velocity it doesn't get reset. Do I draw the assets too, or just do the programming? I also drew these assets. These are kind of placeholder for now. This guy is going to be like an actual character. Yeah. I tried adding like new new biome types yesterday. I was having an issue getting it to look good because like currently everything right now is just like, you know, soil and dirt and grass. And I tried having like a cave area. I could not get the rocks to look nice. But maybe at some point later it'll be good. I don't know. Okay, so I think I need to update the reset. I should update reset. What's the idea for the reset? Basically the issue is that if I that's not supposed to happen. Is that at the moment it only if I don't reset and I push the crate, right? If I reset the room, this guy stays where it is. The other guys, you know, they move around, you reset them, they start over. Welcome Meowletary. If you push this guy, it doesn't reset. So I would like to reset the position, but the issue is that in the reset method, if I were to just call the reset method of the child nodes, they also reset the position to be the global position. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, this is wrong. This should be global position. I just found a bug. Okay, it should be global position. Maybe that would fix it. Hold on. Maybe that's what the issue was. So if I were to just enable this thing, maybe it would just work. Let's try it. We push this, we reset it. Okay, okay, that is, there it is. Okay, it turned out it was actually quite easy. So now this thing can also be reset. Came here through the hag tag. No one ever does that. Okay, we can push this thing into that, and it will in fact kill us. Very nice. But then you could also do this. Hey, wait, what? Hold on. Why is this thing not falling now? That was weird. Wait, why did that happen? Sometimes it sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Well, anyway. I guess this works. That's cool. Okay, so this one, does anyone know if Godot has like doc comments for the entire node? Surely it does, right? Godot doc comments. Documentation comments. I see, it's at the top. Okay, so this one is basically, I think this should extend node 2D, right? Because this has position information. Can I change the type? Change type. Node 2D. Okay. So this one, utility for composite objects. Composite entities. To reset position. How do I document things? Composite entities to call reset. Calling reset on child node. Okay, whatever. It's fine. All right. I could imagine a situation where maybe later I want to reset, call reset recursively. But for now, mushroom doesn't really need to be reset because mushroom can't be pushed. Mushroom really has no state. But this is fine. All right, so we have this. Let's check. Let's commit this. Refresh our git index. Git status. Git add entities lib. Alright, so we've added crate with mushroom. We have fixed a bug with the crate where it wasn't set in global position. We'll also make a group of things that can reset and emit signals. A group of things. Various things. True. Okay, this looks good. Add crate with mushroom on top. All right, so that's good. So now we can design some levels that have this crate with mushroom on it. Now this is something that I could probably add earlier on in the game. This is the issue with adding new mechanics later on, is that I'm like, oh man, I could have added that earlier. That would have been nice, right after you get the jump ability. Man. Okay, so what are some other things I could combine? Falling platform. What about a falling platform that explodes? No. What about pretty far along? It's got quite a bit of stuff. Basically, the idea of it is that you unlock abilities as you go. So you start off the game, you can't jump. You have to bounce on mushrooms. You go down this way, and then eventually, you find yourself back up here. You get the candy. Candy lets you jump, and then you go down this way. You can jump, and then now that you can jump, you can go this way. And then you go up, you push things. You eventually find yourself down here, and then this cookie lets you grab onto ledges, so you can jump up here. Now you can do these kinds of jumps. You can go this way, you push crates. Now that you can jump ledges, you find yourself back here, but now you can go up. And then go this way, fall down some platforms. You fall down here, you get the cake, and then the cake lets you climb walls. And that's where we're at right now. Trying to design levels that will challenge the player's ability to climb walls. So we have like a few rooms. I'm not sure how to like make it like, I don't know. I can't think of like that many ideas that are specific to wall climbing. Like we got this, right? You can do this. You can jump in, you know, you could fall down. You could do this stuff. This thing, I'm not gonna go over this one again, but this is a little puzzle. You can climb crates. You could do this one. A lot of stuff to consider. Right, you go down here, and then now you can go this way. Also, I should drink water. It is in fact 6 p.m. Perfect time to drink some water. All right. Okay, so we're here now. Let's see. Oh, I should also fix this thing. Should fix this thing where you can jump onto this one. It should be pretty simple. Okay, let's go to the mushroom script. Mushroom script. Okay, this one. This one should be on ready. Parent is crate. We should set this to get parent is crate. Yes. Okay, and then we update this thing. This thing should have parent is this thing. We should have it so that you can bounce on this thing if this thing and parent is crate. Parent and not parent is crate. So if the parent is a crate, you can then bounce on it from below. I should also move the character. 6 p.m. water, right? Isn't it such a great time to drink water? 7 p.m. also pretty good time. You can look forward to that in 56 minutes. All right, let's try this one. So we go here. Now that this thing is parent, okay, you can now jump. You can now do this stuff. So that's good. That is in fact quite simple. And then what? This is good. Okay, so we have, it feels a bit hacky though. I should maybe add a, maybe not have that. I should have, I should export this. Can bounce from below. False. And then I don't have this thing here. This thing we should, and not can bounce from below. And then we go into the crate with mushroom, and then all you gotta do is set the mushroom flag can bounce from below to true. And that way we're not hard coding some behavior based on parent. Okay, so that's good. That works. It's good. How about this genius level design? Let's take a look. Let me pull up this image on the screen so everyone can look at it. Mush crate. Puzzle to get it. Need mush crate on mushroom to get up. Yes, so true. So true. Don't have a mouse today. What do you draw this on? Trackpad or phone? Yes, I think this would work. With the mushroom on this one. Now I feel like this is one that could go into like a previous room. Like this one doesn't really require climbing unless the puzzle to get it requires climbing. I feel like I could include mush crate earlier. I think that would make sense. Possibly. Welcome, Stanley. I could also let me try something else. We could have crate with mushroom, but with the mushroom is on the side instead. Because then that will allow you to push the crate with mushroom into another crate. And then that can set off a chain reaction. What if you had like a crate with mushroom? And then you push that into a crate with mushroom. But the mushroom was on the side, right? Let me try that. I just want to see what that is. We go here. Crate with mushroom. Let's duplicate this. Crate with mushroom. Right. Crate with mushroom. Right. All we gotta do is move the mushroom. We gotta rotate mushroom. Transform. Rotation 90. Then you put this guy right there. Crate with mushroom. Right. And then you go back to your world. Go to the obstacles. Okay, then you add crate with mushroom right to here. And then there's like too much stuff in this room. Let me move some of this stuff around. This guy over here. Okay, crate with mushroom right. You put this one right here. What does that do? Oh, what the okay. Let's try pushing this one into the other guy. Oh, I don't have room for that. Okay, but why is that bouncing me? Okay, this is quite strange behavior actually. Maybe that's not intentional. I mean, I feel like it's definitely not intentional. Okay, let's make a new room for testing. I could delete all this stuff, but I feel like I kind of want to like have this stuff in some later setup. For now, let's make a new testing room on this side. Didn't I do something where side mushrooms stop pushing you if you're grounded? No, I had it so that your horizontal velocity is... Oh yeah, no, I think there was something like that. There was something like that. Welcome, Ivatelxi. I don't know how to pronounce it. Unintentional features are where all the best speedrunning strats come from. So true. So true. Alright, let's try, let's have a standalone room. Mushroom left. Wait, sorry. Crate with mushroom right. And then... Wait, why is the preview for this image like that? Crate with mushroom? Welcome, Plush Mayhem. Enjoying the new office creature? Yeah, it's I don't really know what this is. Some kind of thing. Some strange thing. I've done this several times before. Alright, let's test this one out. What do we got here? Mushroom. You can push this one. Oh wait, it works. Guys, it works. Hold on. So if that works, then surely what that means is that you can then push chains of them. This surely does something. Oh shoot, that's kind of cool. That's pretty neat. Is Wolfie GIF WordPress official? Yes. It is my website that has GIFs on them. On it, I mean. Alright, well this could be used for an idea of some sort, maybe. I don't know when, I don't know exactly how I'm going to make use of this, but I think it's pretty cool. And then what? And then what? Right, so let's remove these. We don't have a need for these at the moment. Do you hear the ice cream truck outside? You can hear it, okay. Location docs. Let's find the location of every ice cream truck. Find out where he lives. Based on the volume of the ice cream truck, we can tell that it is 5 meters from his place of residence. Locate every ice cream truck. Get ice cream now? No, I'm streaming. Can't do that. Alright, so what challenges do we have here? I could add this challenge. This could be a room that we can add. When's the last time I got ice cream from a truck? Let me check my notes actually. Ice cream. When was the last time I had ice cream from a truck? May 16th, 2024 actually. That's right. My workplace had an event and I didn't know this. You could rent ice cream trucks. That's what they did. They rented ice cream trucks and they parked it near our office, and then we would just go out there and then they would check our office badge, and you're like, okay, you work for here, I can't even talk. You work for this place? Sure, you can get some ice cream. They paid for it. You can get ice cream. Welcome Golden Anime Freddy. Your developer brain needs a sugar from ice cream to function at peak performance? No, I don't think so. Alright, so now while this idea I think is a good idea, I think that it is not specific to climbing, but I could make this puzzle on the left side involve some kind of climbing puzzle. That is totally possible. I think maybe I will try doing that. Alright, now we gotta move all this stuff somewhere else. There's way too much stuff out here. Delete this stuff. Delete these things. Now I want to maintain this one though. I want to use this for something, because it is very appealing. I'm going to show it to you again, okay? Because I'm so proud of it. I found it by accident. Very nice accidental appealing bounce arc. Go here, you fall. Wait, everything moved over. I hate when that happens. Let's reset that. This one right here, check this out. Whoa, isn't that so cool? You can do this so many times. It never gets old. You push this one out of the way, now you're over here. Now, how can I make use of this? What if there were spikes? What if instead of there being crates here, these were spikes? So you do this, and then hazards here. What if there's a room that's just a huge chain reaction of mushrooms like that for fun? I think that would be cool. Well, let's see. So this one could be a challenge. Maybe not even a challenge. Just like a room before you get jumping. You're like, oh no, how am I gonna get up there? You simply, all you gotta do is bounce into this one. How did that happen? You go here, bounce in this one. Whoa, look at that. Now you're on the other side. Isn't that cool? Isn't that so cool, guys? I should add that. Question is where though? Where do I add this? Gotta make room. I gotta update these rooms here. What if I added a room on this side? Yeah, this is going to be a pre-jumping room. So the issue is I could add a room here, but then I would need for this room to somehow connect to this one. I could move all these over, maybe. Or maybe I could hold on, this one, I could add a room that goes down this way. So you go here, you go up this way, you go down another layer, you go to the left, and then you go up. I think that is totally possible. Then I can just think of like another pre-jumping room for ideas. Okay, so let's do that. That room could maybe involve one of these pushable blocks as well. It could make use of a lot of stuff. All right, so let's see. Delete some of these. You gotta have a one-way platform and ladder. Got this one, and then this one should also have the same thing. So we have ladder. Ladder is here, goes down to this room. And then delete this one. Add this one back. That's not what I meant. You go to this one. Remove the one-way platform from here. All right, so this room is going to have that thing that I just had there. It's like this. Now this does have a very similar layout though. It's kind of like the same thing. You have a ladder going down, goes this way. That's fine. That's totally fine. All right, so this room, we have the spike setup that we had earlier. This right here, right? And then, how did I have it set up? You have spikes. So you have a platform that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7 tall. And it has spikes on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is there. Okay, and then that has spikes on top. And then you have a mushroom. A rightward facing mushroom. I believe this one is... Where is it? I could just copy this, I guess. Go down here, you paste it. Right there. Okay, so then over there, over here you got this one, and then you have spikes on top, like that. And then what though? There's got to be like maybe some way to go down here. So let's see, over here. Wait, but then for this one, you just fall onto this one. I want it so that you have to walk into... Oh, I see, I could just do this. I could do this. And then from this, you're like, you walk onto this one, and then you're like, I can't make that jump. And then you eventually find out you can jump onto this one. And then it bounces you. And then you find yourself on the other side, right? Now, what do I do up here, though? What is that thing I could do up there? Alright, let's just move the player here for now. Welcome, Namington. Sometimes I lose track of where the player is. Where are we right? Okay, we are in this room. You move the player downward. Here. Alright. So we'll have some kind of challenge. You eventually find yourself over here, and then you start jumping, and you're like, I can't make that jump. You can't be doing that. And then you do this, and it's, well, wait, that kills you. Why does that kill you? Was the previous thing only 2 wide? Is that what it was? No, that's 3. That's 3 wide. Why does this one not work? What the? Wait a second. Is it taller? Did I miscalculate the height of it? I could just copy it. Okay, so we go back here. Paste it. Is that taller? Maybe it's taller. Maybe I miscalculated. Okay, and then you have spikes. Okay, and then you do this. Wait, it seems that you could make it from this, right? Am I mistaken? That jump had enough clearance for this. But it doesn't. Why doesn't it? What's the difference? Oh, whatever. I tried to redo. Okay, so this one is good. Actually, no, that's fine. It's actually totally fine. This works. I would imagine if I changed the physics even slightly, this would not work anymore. It seems a bit too precise. No, I'm sure it's fine. It's so cool though. Isn't that so cool? You get the exact momentum needed to make that. I think you can't go back though. That's the issue. You can't go back. I would ideally make it so that you can go back. But how? Oh, maybe after you get the ability to jump. Maybe once you get the ability to jump, you can just go back this way. More mushrooms. Welcome, Denchi. I could have it so that it's like this. Before you have the ability to jump, you cannot go there. Although I guess you could just... Hold on. Wait, but then... Okay, I guess you could do that. But that relies on coyote jumping, which is not necessarily what I want. You could have more mushrooms. Really makes you think. Maybe we could have, what could I have? What could I even have? It could be a ladder. It could, hold on, it could be like, you could have a one-way platform here, and then could have a mushroom. No, but that would just bounce you up there. I want it so that you can intentionally go back up. Oh, what if we have a ladder that goes up here, and then one-way platform, and then ladder? And then maybe this one, it's gonna be like over here. Possibly. How about this? Mushroom bounce on downward facing mushroom. Hold on, let me copy this image address so everyone can see it. Welcome, Raiden Bareback. What is today's Wolfie? No one really knows. No one really even knows what this is. Okay, we're gonna add this one. Welcome, Hamflow. This one. Okay, so there's like, what is that thing over there? Is that a ramp? We don't have ramps. You go up diagonally. You fall onto mushroom. Mushroom bounces you into other mushroom and bounces you downward. I could try that. Okay, I could make an attempt to see what that would look like. Alright, but first, let's add a way to go back. So we have one-way platform. I like how my entire goal was to like design climbing stuff for later, and then I just end up like making something for earlier in the game. It's this scope creep. This is what happens when there's too much stuff going on. Alright, so we have one-way platform. You could like maybe like climb up here. And I want to make sure that it doesn't bounce you up there. And go here and go there. Okay, that's good. This is why games take 5 years to make, so true. Welcome around square. Okay, and then this one up here, we have a mushroom. A mushroom that will bounce you back up. Just a regular mushroom. How goes Dev? It goes pretty well. It is pretty good. Okay, so for this one, let's consult the ideas board. Bouncy physics seems pretty tight. Yes. It's quite the appealing physics. Alright, so let's see. Got this one. Let's try to build something like this. So we have spikes. We got mushroom. How would we get them up there though? It could be you just fall onto it. So the mushroom could be perhaps the thing is we don't have ramps though. I could add ramps, but I feel like that would complicate things, especially with the tile map stuff. The ramp is immaterial. You could have like a little ladder, but then it's like, then why? I could just have it like this then. Bouncy. It could just be this. But then that's like not that much room at the top though. It could be maybe like this. So we have one-way platforms. It's like this. And then ladders. Simply just remove this ladder. Okay, and then with this one, there should be enough room such that you can fall onto a mushroom. A mushroom, and then the bouncy mushroom over here. Mushroom right here. And then we got a regular mushroom up. Now I feel like this would bounce you straight into this. Well, maybe there's something here. If we had a downward mushroom here. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, wait, that works. That works. Where did that land us? That land us over there. Okay, hold on. Let's retry that. Can you believe I got it first try? It's absurd. It never happens. Okay, hold on. Go here. Oh. Okay, so it lands. You land over here. In contact there. So you have a mushroom going up. It's like 3 over. foreground. Over there, and okay, then you have mushroom going up. Over here. Okay, that that works. But then this one bounces you there. I think because you don't have that much horizontal momentum left. But that's fine. It's actually, I think that's fine. Or is it fine? Maybe we have like another... We have like a rightward facing mushroom over here. Once you get to the far right, you can force them to land on some falling platforms. No, we have falling platforms. Oh no, we don't. Okay, we introduced falling platforms here, but since this room shows up earlier, it's fine. We could have it here. Okay, so this one, it launches the player here, and so perhaps we have rightward facing mushroom here, and then this one could consider doing this. Does this work? It does not work. Okay, so maybe rightward facing mushroom. Actually, does this work without the wall being there? Is this valid? It does not work. Oh, because you collide from it from within. Let me just move it over slightly. Maybe like here. Okay, that works. What if we add a wall? Does that still work? Keep doing it. Did I move everything by accident? This always happens. Yep, I did accidentally move everything. Okay. Okay, so obstacles, foreground, yeah, floating mushroom. Okay, so this goes here. Does this still work? Yeah, it doesn't. It does not work. Possibly because I moved the foreground by 1 pixel accidentally. Okay, that does not work. Why does that not work? I think it's because you collide from here. Maybe I just moved the mushroom over 1 more. Kaizo ROM hack where everything is moved 1 pixel. Classic. Okay, so it's gotta be this thing. Surely this works. It has to work. Okay, so that works. Okay, so that's good. And we add some hazards. Let's add the spikes right there. That's good. It's not even really challenging. I just think it looks cool. Right, there's no challenge. You just walk off. Just walk off the cliff. It's fun. And that's what games are about. This room feels like a Sonic Adventure level design. They do have a lot of bouncy platforms, that is true. A lot of times in Sonic, you don't even have control over your player. Sonic just runs and then things just happen, and you're like, I guess that's happening. I guess that is just a thing that occurs. Alright, so we go here, right? We have all this stuff set up. Perhaps this stuff can be like this. Alright, so this mushroom launches you into this wall. Throw spikes at the top too. I did consider that. But that would have meant I would have had to go into a different menu. I would have had to zoom in. It's fine. Go here. Yeah. Where is my... There it is. Yes, you could in fact add many spikes. But don't you worry. Oh, it's kind of weird though, because it's like you don't see the top of it. So like maybe I could move everything down by one. It is entirely possible. I think I should. Let's move all this stuff down. Welcome Hypnotic Fox Twitch. Okay, so we're gonna move all this by one. And then also make sure you move the obstacles. There, this one as well. Okay, then we got the hazards. And then you add a ceiling to the top. Like that. Okay. And then you have this one. Okay, and then what? And then we have to move so much stuff. There's so much stuff to move. Terrain, we got the one way, we got the... It's the wrong thing. This is it. We got this one, and then that one. And then you move this one. Okay. So that's good. So it launches the player here. They then fall down. I should then add some falling platforms. Perhaps. There's my falling platforms. It's right here. Okay, so it launches the player here. They can then start falling down. There should be spike. There's got to be spikes over here. That goes here. It's like this. Maybe a bunch of these, and then then we have spikes on the floor. A bunch of hazards. We got spikes. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on. It's quite the complex room. It's actually quite simple. You just have to know you gotta move. Okay, and then well at this point they will not have the ability to ledge grab or whatever. So this will not occur in regular gameplay. But you know, they fall from here and they fall down and then they do this and then, whoa, look at this, now they're over here. Simple. Easy as that. Okay, this room is done. You just have to have a ladder that they can climb up to go back up if they want to. Like that. Alright. This is feeling a bit empty though, but we do have a lot of stuff in this room. There is quite a bit going on. I could maybe, instead of having this be entirely empty, I could have the spikes be raised slightly. Like this. I think that would be fine. Alright, so that's good. Okay, do this. Gotta be fast. Alright, and then you do this, right? You know, do all this stuff. Climb up. Oh, that ladder does not go all the way down. Should make sure the ladders are connected. Should also make sure I have checkpoints. Can't forget about those checkpoints. Alright, we got a checkpoint at the top of this ladder. Checkpoint at the bottom of this ladder. Checkpoints here. Let's add some walls here. Alright, so that is this room. A lot of mushrooms. I could make this like an underground area, you know. It's not going to entirely just have grass on it. This could be like a cave. You know, mushrooms do tend to grow in caves. So it would make sense for this to have a lot of mushrooms. Right, this area has the most mushrooms of all places. So I'll turn this entire, you go down this one, this is now a cave area. You find yourself back up here, this is now no longer a cave. Maybe this would make the lower right feel less empty. Falling platforms with spikes, you gotta fall on, you gotta move left and right in a serpentine pattern. Hold on. Like this. It is possible. I feel like, how would I then, I mean, I could try it again. Yes, I could try it. I also realized I don't have a room at the moment where you have to like jump from a platform while it's falling. That's the thing. At the moment, the only things I have are like you have to jump immediately as you land on the platform. I could potentially have a situation where like maybe there's like a platform and then like if you jump immediately, you don't make, there's like a gap you gotta jump into. You gotta wait a little bit while it's falling and then you can jump. But then I'm like, is that too dependent on reaction speed? Because they do fall pretty fast. The pre-Jurassic era tectonic event has caused this spore pattern to develop. Exactly. The mushrooms that bounce you. Okay, so we go here. So let's say you're saying could have it so you go left and right, but then fall on to the spikes. I could consider it. Would possibly have something like this. Let's see. We have falling platform. So we know this mushroom launches you here. So you can go here. And then you fall down here. And then maybe you fall into this one, and then I guess this one would make you wait a little bit, because if you were to just go directly to the left, there would be a wall in the way, so you do have to wait. Right? It could be like this. So now you have to wait a little bit. And then you can, I guess you could just hold left, right? I guess that is also possible. Or no, this one you can go to the right. Right, that's what the entire point of this was. Is that you can then go to the right. Now we can have some spikes perhaps. Spikes over here. And maybe some spikes over here. And then some more spikes over here. But then you got the one-way platform. Sorry, you got the falling platform over here. Over there. I feel like maybe this one is a bit too high up. You can have this one over here. Like this. I guess you don't want the player to go this way. it could be blocked off like this. Maybe. This could also be like this. Go here, they then fall into this one. And then while this is falling, then it should maybe be a bit lower down. Then they fall onto this one. And then as this falls, they go over here. Could give this a try, maybe. Alright, we got spikes here. We got spikes here. We also got some spikes here. Did I move everything over again? I feel like it's always... Why does this always happen? Does anyone know? It's always doing that. Alright, let's see what this looks like. This one... Okay, I think the timing on this one is a bit too... a bit too tight. I think this one's fine. Okay, so... it might be because I have this right here. Or maybe... Wait a second. Hold on. Okay, that's more doable. However, I'm like, is that too... if I play... No, actually, that's fine. Is that fine? I think I should get rid of this spike. If I got rid of that spike, I think it would be all good. Okay, so you get launched. And then you press left, you press right. Okay, that's good. I think that's a good challenge. It's like not so straightforward. You gotta do some, you know, there's some motions you gotta do. And then if you hold right, you just crash into the spikes. Alright, that's good. Okay, good idea. And then what? And then I guess that's it for this one. You could maybe... I mean, there's like nothing over here. What would I do here? I could make this a place you can come back to later. Once you get the climbing ability, we could put like a thing over here. Let's put a collectible. It's gonna be right here. You can then climb up to get this thing. Sure. Okay, so then to climb up there, you would go this way. You would climb on this guy, and then there. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, then you would do this, and then, okay, then you get the 4-leaf clover. And then you do that. Isn't that so cool? And then if you want to go back, you could go this way. It is a little bit tricky. Is it that tricky though? I feel like it's doable. No, it's pretty straightforward. Or is it? Or is it though? It is. It's actually totally fine. Okay. So that's good. We have this room. Next room. A little tricky, but breaks up the auto playing part, right? We got this stuff just plays itself. This stuff here as well. It's good. Okay, next part. What was I gonna have for this one? Oh, we could have the pushing mushrooms part. Although, this is before... Okay, never mind. We do have crates. I was like, this could be... Is this before we've even introduced the concept of crates? No, we have crates here. So that's fine. So we can have crates with mushrooms on them. And I think it would make sense lore-wise. You know, we got an underground area that has a lot of mushrooms. You know, it would make sense to have mushrooms growing on a crate. Okay, so we have this room here. Although, you can push the crate with the mushroom on it, but you can't jump on it. So that would make this a bit less interesting. How would this be done? You could push a crate with the mushroom, and then maybe there's like another mushroom. What if there's like a mushroom here? You bounce on this mushroom, and then it goes there. Oh no, this could be that original idea you had. This one? Mushroom crate. Oh, but then you have no way to jump onto that one. No, okay, let's see. We could have, before you can even jump, you could have mushroom here, and then you could push. This would be pushable crate with mushroom on it. And then maybe there's like a platform up here. Yeah, but then how would you get onto this one? It doesn't make any sense. There could be ladders. There could be a ladder, maybe. If this was a ladder, imagine this is a ladder. I think you climb, and there's like a one-way platform this way. And then this is a pushable crate with mushroom on it. You would then push this crate here. And then you fall onto it from here. And then you launch onto this one-way platform over here. I think that's totally doable. So okay, so we have ladders. Ladder here. This one is a one-way platform. That. And then we have pushable crate with mushroom here. Obstacles. Crate with mushroom over there. Okay, and then this one over here. We have another one-way platform. It's like over here now. And then you gotta fall from here onto this one. And then you bounce up here. And then some more stuff. Okay, so let's see. Do this, right? Go over here, climb up. Nope. Can't be doing that. It's got to be a little bit closer. Like perhaps here. Alright, so it's like this. And then you climb up. Okay, so that's good. But then what if you miss? What if you don't push this over enough? And then you climb up and then you fall on this side. You could have spikes, spikes could kill you. Or maybe what if that's the intention? Maybe you're supposed to skip it. Maybe your intention is to push it back this way. Maybe there's something else on this side. Oh, we could have a clover over here. What if this is the intended way to go? And then there's like, clover up here. You bounce up to it. And then what? I'm gonna have this here. Let's put this one here. So you go. Wait, I guess you could just do that from the beginning. No, there needs to be a way. There needs to be a reason to push this over and then to push it back. Now, what reason would that be exactly? I don't know. I have to think about it. Let's say you push it over, and then maybe there's like other stuff over here, and then you find yourself back down here, and then you push this over back to this way. But there needs to be a way where you can't just do this from the beginning. Is there such a thing that I can do? Maybe. Maybe there is a thing. Surely there has to be something. What if there was like an opening in the floor that had spikes in it, and you needed to push a crate onto that? Yes, thank you for clapping sound effects. Music that claps when I have a good idea. Or what if there was like a platform? What if there was a platform like this? And then what? And then what though? Oh, what if you push this over here and then there's another crate? You push that crate onto this mushroom, and then the crate, and then the crate goes up here, and then with this crate, maybe this platform gets extended. It gets extended this way, and then you push the crate over here, and then what? And then I don't know, and then something. Welcome Lumina, welcome Dakioki. This is genius. There's gotta be something to this. Has to be, there's gotta be something. So we can have a regular crate. Regular old, plain old crate over here. You push the crate down here. And then you push the crate, maybe there's like a mushroom. There's like a mushroom over here. And that bounces the crate up here. But then what do you do with the crate? I don't know. What do you even do with this crate? So this is the level. You go this way. And then you go here. And then you jump on this guy. And then you fall down here. And then what? But you needed to push this over slightly more. So then you go here, and then you do this. But then we need this thing to be low enough. What if you push the crate into a gap into the wall you can climb? But this is before you get the climbing ability. This is before you can even jump. But I mean, you could climb it anyway, right? Because like climbing happens after you get the jump. So like if there was an opening here, you could simply just jump up. You could simply jump up. But that is a good idea though. Pushing a crate into a gap in the wall. Really makes you think. So this one, you know, you could have it go here, then go up here, and then you push this one back onto it, and then it crushes you, and then it kills you. No. One-way platforms. We could have this be lower, have this be slightly lower, perhaps here. No, but I didn't want this so that you can push it there. I thought this was pre-jump when I drew this. Which one was this one? What is this? This one. Yes. This one, what is this one? Got a ladder. Climb up. You got mushroom. Use the top crate as a platform. Oh, I see. So you can... Wait, what is this? What is this doing? You climb up the ladder, and then what? What is the point of this mushroom? Hold on. Of this, what does this mushroom do? Also, yes, I'm gonna hydrate. It is 7 p.m. Alright. Welcome, Oarfish. These mushrooms don't have points, they're round. They have points on the bottom. Okay, the bottom mushroom is so you fall through the hole and bounce back up the top. This one extended the one-way platform too far. So like, you go up, you fall down. Wait. Is this pre-jump? Is this after jump? I thought this was pre-jump when I drew this. Is this pre-jump? Is this before jumping? You can go here, fall down, go this way. It was pre-jump. Okay, well. Okay, you can push this. You can push this. And then you go up. You fall down. And then the mushroom does something. There is some kind of thing. Some type of thing. Okay, but surely this is something, right? You can go this way. Push the crate, and then you fall onto it. And then it bounces you. You're on this platform, you push this guy back over. There's many things you gotta consider for game design. Alright, so you go this way, you push it over here. And then you go this way. And then you do this. And now you're over here. And then you do this. And now the crate is up there. And then you and then what? Then how do you get on the other side? You can't. Turns out you can't. It's actually impossible. Assuming you can't jump, of course. And you can then, so then this one goes up. Maybe there's like a ladder. You can climb a ladder up here. And then once you have that, you can then push this one down. But what does that give you? What does that even give you? Should make it unsolvable? No, you can't do that. That's cringe. But maybe there's like a thing in the floor. I don't know. A lot of things to think about, you know. Designing games. Is this introducing too much? You just have like a room that's just mushroom with crate on it? No, this is fine. It's totally fine. But then we have like mushroom with crate in this room. But then we don't introduce it until much, much later, right? You don't even see it until later. Oh, I could replace this one with mushroom with crate. No, but then that would make this too easy. I mean, I've got a crate with the mushroom on the bottom. But then how would that even make sense? It would be clipping through the floor. Alright, what is this one? I will copy the address. Okay, so let's see, what do we got here? So you push the crate, you then climb up, fall onto it, then you can bounce up onto here. And then this is how would you get on the other side of this though? That's the thing. I could add a ladder. I could have like a one-way platform you can climb up. You're pushing that second mushroom crate there. Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you were pushing this one onto this one and then it bounces and then you can bounce up. Okay, then you can't go that way. I see. Okay, so you push this one there and then you go back, climb up, you bounce on this one, and you go up here. And then you push, what does this crate do? What does this crate give you? You push it onto this one, and then it bounces up and down, and then you stand on the crate, and then you can go onto it. Is that what it is? Is that the goal? Just a crate that you're going to use as a platform to get a bit higher? Okay. I could try it. I could consider using this. Although keep in mind though, keep in mind that the goal is to go up here though. Because I don't have plans on adding like a room on this side. Although I guess we could just have like a, you know, you go up here and then there's like a little way to go back up there. It's fine. Welcome DX Nomad. You should play Jurassic Park Trespasser for inspiration on crate pushing puzzles. Do they push crates in Jurassic Park? Is that a thing that happens in that movie? I've actually never watched Jurassic Park. Can you believe that? This guy's never even seen Jurassic Park. It's true, I just don't know. Big steel doors. Do they have big steel doors in Jurassic Park? And game is about pushing crates. Oh, the Jurassic Park game? I didn't even know. I guess it would make sense. They do have games for pretty much most movies. Maybe not most movies. Many movies. To keep the dinos from slaughtering? No. They would never do that. Why would dinosaurs be slaughtering? That's absurd. Kept the dinosaurs in the crates. Didn't they keep them in the labs though? Alright, so we have a one-way platform. This platform is here. And then we have, so you push this one over here, and then you have this. Oops, that is the wrong layer. And then you have this. And then you have this. And then you have one-way platform, right? This one-way platform is here. Why is this one-way platform needed though? Oh, I see. Wait, is it needed? You push this one over here, you then jump up and go here. This could be done without this, right? Okay, and then we have another one-way platform. So you have another mushroom with crate on it. Is over here. And then you push it over here. And then there is one of these guys. So this one bounces. Would have a crate here. There is a crate on one of these guys. Regular old crate. So then this goes here. This is maybe a bit too high up. Let's see. So this one, you bounce up here. We could have a ladder. Hold on. How high up does this bounce you? Does this even bounce you up high enough? One-way platform. Terrain. We have this one way. Would be here. You're meant to jump from here to there. I think this is too high up. Let's try this. So this, and then you do this one, and then if you were able to go up there, what would that look like? It would look like no, we can't go there. So you can, it bounces you up to here. So let's see. I could also just lower this. Do I want to just, I'm just gonna add like, let's add like a ladder. Yeah, a little ladder right here. All right, so this one, you push this over here. This then bounces you up. You can then go over here, and then you do this. Oh, but then you're stuck. Wait a second. Oh, that's why the one-way platform's needed, to prevent you from getting stuck. We also need spikes in here. If you mess up, there should be spikes that will allow you to destroy yourself. There. Okay, so it's like this. You push this over. Go, oh, that's too far. That is too far. Oh, and then you... I guess you could go back to this room. And then... But then how would the player know? I guess you could prevent the player from ever needing to do that. We could just add walls here. You could just do that. So that's there. And then you do this. And then you do that. And then this. Oh, wait. No, that's kind of mean. We should not have the spikes there. Or should we? Or should we have it? Maybe that's... No, this is kind of frustrating. Let's not have the spikes there. We have hazards. Did I move everything again? Why does it feel like I moved everything? I did move everything. Hate that. Okay, let's get these hazards out of here. We could also, we could simply just have a wall here. Alright, so you push this there. You walk up here, you jump. Oh, you gotta consider ordering though, you can't just be doing that. I guess we could have spikes here, because if you push this guy over here, you will not fall into the spikes. Right, I think it's fine. Put that there. You could also put this guy there. Alright. Push this one over here. And then you do this. And then you go up. And then you push this one. Oh, you can in fact make that. You can in fact make that. Alright, so that's good. That is quite nice. I could lower this by 1, perhaps, to make it a bit more straightforward. So you go here, and then you do this, and then you do this. And then you crush yourself if you go the wrong way. I thought the crate might get you extra height, but I guess not. I mean, I guess if the crate started lower down, it would. I guess I could just lower this whole thing. I could just have, you know, this thing could just be on this level. Sorry, not spikes. This. Welcome home, I'm Sinuka. Walfa's Miku. Alright, so I don't need this ladder. I don't need this one-way platform. This crate is going to be here. Alright, so this one, I think this one will give you extra height. Bounce on this. Wait, but then... I don't want to go there. I could remove this one-way platform. So you have this one over here. And then, oh, hold on. And then, hold on. Let's remove the player's ability to grab balls for temporarily. Push this one over. That could be a falling platform. Oh, that is also true. I could have that. Or I could not have that. I guess this, we could have a falling platform here. Maybe. So this goes here. You push this one over, and then, okay, now you have extra height. That does give you extra height. You can now go on this one. There could be a ladder. The ladder could bring you up. Or perhaps you go this way, and then maybe there's like another floor above this. No, I think it's fine. You have a ladder over here. A ladder, you climb up the ladder. And then what? And then maybe there's like another pushable mushroom box. You push it down here, and then that allows you to go up here. What happens if you push the mushroom box on the other? Then they start bouncing. But there is currently no way to do that at the moment. No, actually there is. You can do it. Oh, what if this was the bonus? What if you do this and then... No, it kills you. But like, what if there was like a thing... That could be a thing. What if that was a thing? Good idea. That could be a thing that gives you a clover. So we could have a one-way platform, perhaps. Sorry, not one-way platform. We can have a falling platform over here, and then you gotta move this one over. And then this one you fall down. No, you gotta not fall. You gotta wait. Okay, go up here, and then you push this one onto that one. Oh, and then what? But then this will kill you. You can't make. Or can you? What if you were good enough to make it past, and then you jump up here, and then you can go even higher. Interesting. That is our most complex puzzle that I think we've had so far. There's got to be a clover. Okay, so there can be a one-way platform up here. A one-way platform. Perhaps over here. Is that high enough? Yes, that is high enough. Maybe even higher. Maybe even higher. Yeah, let's try that. Hey, what the? I moved everything again? I can't believe this. Every single time. There's got to be like a way to lock them in place. That thing should not be transformed. Alright, so you push this over here. You go up. You then push this one over. And then you do this. And then you gotta be fast. That one's kind of hard though. Is there maybe some keyboard shortcut I'm using that's like Control S saves but moves everything over? I feel like it might be like I'm like dragging something, maybe? I don't know. There's gotta be something. Oh, or maybe I move this platform lower so that this thing is then on top of this one. No, because like I feel like this timing is a bit too. It's a bit too hard. Right. Like, I know it's supposed to be an optional challenge, but it does feel a bit too unforgiving. Like, I feel like the fact that I got that at all first time was probably, like, entirely not even possible. No, well... No, I feel like it should be a little bit more straightforward. Because I feel like the clovers should not require, like, really fast reaction times. They should require, like, logical thinking. Okay, so let's see. I could also, I guess I could also lower all of this by 1. We could have a crate over here, and then a falling platform here, a way to back up to the platform up there. Which platform? Yeah, you can jump. This is before you have the ability to jump. That's why you gotta rely on the mushrooms to do it for you. Okay, wait, that's something. Wait, that was supposed to trigger... Why is that not causing it to fall? Oh, it's because it's a part of a composite object. Wait, but that should still... Why does that not work? If you push a regular crate onto this, it does cause it to fall. Oh, wait, why is that not doing it though? I mean, this could be a one-way platform. It doesn't have to be a falling platform. Right? No, the reason why it's a falling platform is because of this thing. Right, because otherwise you would jump up here. Wait. What if instead of having this be falling platform, the falling platform gives it leniency for reaction time. Maybe, but I feel like, okay, if I can figure out why this thing is not causing it to fall. What is my logic for falling platform in my script? Falling platform script. Oh, if body is crate. Should not have body is crate. If body... this one should have, let me see. Because the body that is colliding with it is actually the composite object, which is not necessarily a crate. It is just a node 2D. Is there a better way to have this? I guess, do I even need this if body is player or body is crate? What if I just comment this out? Because the collision layers should take care of that for me, I think. So you go this way, you do this one. What? Why not? Object oh, but body entered. Oh, because it enters with velocity not greater than 0. I see. It's because it lands directly on it. And then while it is still in contact, this is only on enter. It's not checking every frame when it is collided. Top check body entered. I should it should not be on body enter. It should be checking every frame, right? So top check is a area 2D. Let me check the docs for area 2D. You should get overlapping, has overlapping bodies. So this one, physics process, else. If top check has overlapping bodies and body, wait, hold on, we gotta get the body that is overlapping. So we get get overlapping bodies for body in top check get overlapping bodies, and then we do this stuff. If body is player or body is crate, and body velocity is greater than 0, and animation player current is not shake, then you do this stuff. All right, and then what? We gotta indent this. I'm gonna put this in parentheses. And then I think we remove this. Let's try this. Move this one over, do this. Okay, that works. It also kills you, but that's fine, because you have some time before that happens. That's part of the challenge. That's why it's challenging. All right, you push this over, you wait for a little bit. You gotta wait for the platform to show up again. Wait, I feel like this is still kind of hard though. Is that doable? Hold on. Okay, no, that is doable. If you time it so that every 3 bounces it respawns. So you time it 1, 2, 3, and then when that happens, then you move. But will the player know that though? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, I think it's doable. I think that is a reasonable expectation for the player. Yes, okay. Alright, so I think that's a good one. And then you bounce up here, alright, and then you get the clover. I feel like given the existing setup, I think the player might end up just doing that normally, right? Welcome, Mint. Thank you for the 27 months. Haven't been able to make a Wolfie stream forever. Well, now is your time. See, because like, okay, so the player goes here, they jump up. I feel like their first instinct would be to push this guy over, right? And then they would be like, oh, then I go this way, right? It is, right? Exactly. And then they're like, is this the intended way? I need some way to make it so that they don't do, because I want this thing to be like a bonus, right? The ability to go up there, because then they're like, oh, this timing is too tough. Why is this so hard to do? It's too challenging. Right? Go over here, go up there. Then what? And then what though? Then what they should be doing, if I have a clear goal on the left side, like a ladder, it might be thinking more of how to push the mushroom over. Yes. Or maybe, what if I have this platform on this side, right? Then they will, well, I guess they would still, never mind, they would still do that. If I have clear goal on the list, I could add a ladder here that would in fact do something. That would do some kind of thing. All right, so we go here. We add the ladder here. All right, then they're gonna be like, I'm gonna go over there now. Is that true necessarily though? Is that true? Or I mean, this could be the bonus route. Like I could have this be the this could be the route you're intended to go, and then maybe the bouncing mushroom thing. Like I feel like both of these are kind of like not super intuitive. Like, you know, this is pretty unique in itself. Pushing this over here. Whoops. And then you die, and then you simply die. You go over here, you go down this way. Like, this requires a bit more effort. Although that is kind of... It's also a little bit challenging. Because like, now that this gives you height, you could quite easily fall under it and die. And that also requires timing. Both of these kind of require some timing. We could have two clovers, and then there could maybe just be like an easy path that just goes up. Left mushroom's platform could be a tile lower. Possibly true. So we have, let's see, we have obstacles, we move all these guys. Hazards. Oops. All right, let's see. Move this guy over. And then you do this. And then you do this. Actually, I guess I could have this platform be one more over. Because then that would prevent the possibility of... I guess this would prevent it. I guess this is fine. Is this fine? It might be nicer if this was one more tile over. Whoops. Because then it will line up perfectly. Alright, you do this one, and then you do this. Okay, that's nice. Yeah. Alright, then you can go up here, and then I guess both of these, I don't know. It's good. Interesting designs. Look at this one. Go this way, push this down, and then you're like, the only thing left is to do this. Oh, but now that this is one lower, this thing doesn't work anymore. Unless I move this one lower. That's why it was set up like that. It really makes you think. Well, I guess I could raise this back up one. Now that this is aligned like this, there's no way to like die if you do that. So I could move this back up. And then go here. And then you do this. Alright. And then this is still makeable. And then if you were to do it this way, go over here, and then you do this. Alright, so that's still doable, and then you do this. I still kind of feel like the player's first intent is to go up that way. There has to be something that makes them not want to do this. What if it bounces you up? There's like a platform up here. You have to then climb a ladder to go to go down. But are clever so they know not to go there? No, but they want to go there. They want to get the clover. What if the top path is main sequence, left path is bonus? That's what I was thinking. But then it was like, they're both kind of like the fact that this one requires you to time the thing, you gotta wait 3 times and then rush under it. That seems more challenging. There's gotta be something. There's gotta be something to it. What if there was a... Or what if I move the crate farther over to the right side? Parameter bodies never... Alright. It's fine. What if I move the crate over? It's actually like... here. And then if the crate was here... But then they might think to push the crate to the... No, you can't. Okay, you can't make that. No, but then they would still do that. Hold on. What am I trying to do here? I want them to go back down. Or maybe I'm just overthinking this. Maybe the way it is right now is totally fine. I've also moved everything over, it appears. Maybe go up. What if perhaps what if I did not have this? This part is player direction, which is later in level design than coming up with stuff to do. But I gotta do it. You gotta consider. There's many things to consider. If I don't do this now, I'll have to do it later anyway. Anyway, it's not like we have enough time in the stream to like do like another. I feel like we have not done anything here. The entire goal was to add climbing levels. And we have instead added this stuff. Okay, but what if it was like this? What if there were 2 platforms? What if this platform is actually... perhaps it's actually over here, and then the final layout becomes clear what the goal is. Let's see this. If I have this stuff, I mean, I guess, but then it's like, yeah, whatever, maybe it's fine. The player could just do 2 things. They could simply just be doing multiple things. Just look at this. And then, yeah, this one. and then like this. And then, no, but then this one, I would like it so that, hold on. We're gonna have foreground. This one's gonna be an elevated platform. Sorry, a one-way platform. Because the way I have it currently set up is that the clovers, they assume you can land on a platform afterward. So you can't just be floating in the air. There's gotta be one of these. One of these. We have the collectible. You put this guy right here. And then I remove these guys. Okay. So let's see, go up here. And then you can't make that. And then you're like, I'm gonna go this way. And then you do this. And then I mess something up somewhere. Right, because I moved this thing over. Yes. And then we have this one here. All right. You push this over. You go here. You try to get the consumable. You can't do it. Then you do this. And then you do this. And then you get that one. But then you can't make it though. Then you can't go that way. Then you would have to do that. You also need like spikes somewhere else. No, actually, because I feel like the way I had it was because that's why I want this thing to be like the optional way, because like the first way they should do it the regular way, and then they do this thing. But then doing this way should not inherently give you access to the upper part. I don't know what I'm saying. Did I move everything over again? Man, I've done it again. Oh, that's why everything was misaligned, because of this. Man. Really makes you think. Really a lot of things to consider. But I think this is a pretty interesting design though. Quite compelling. I mean, it is fun though. Welcome, Brooke. It is quite enjoyable. Hey, what the? How did I do? That's a speedrun spread? I don't know what I just did. I somehow just did something. You see that? What the heck? That was crazy. New tech. New tech just dropped. Hold on. If you just hold the right, you just make it. No, never mind. How did I do that? Frame perfect trick? How did he do it? Welcome, Sheriff Pumpkin. Speedrunning your own game before it's complete. This is the pre-release build. How did he do it? How does he even know how to do it? Okay, but then like once this is here, then you're stuck. Then there's nothing you can even do. Then you have to... Hey, what the heck? push this. You can push this crate when it's on the other thing. What the heck? A lot of advanced tech that I had never thought of. Alright, but then it's like, once you get it, then it's like, it's up to the player to know that they have to like reset it by going back. Right? Because then there's no spikes that kill them. They would need to like, they would need to get this and then, you know, they would need to spike themselves. But then that goes against the other ways that I have it set up. The other ways all have it so that once you get this thing, you can always escape. Maybe the unmush crate could also have a mush. See, I've moved everything again. Why did I move everything? Ladders. The unmushed crate can also have a mush. But then that gets rid of the thing where, because then you can just push this thing onto this. No, you can't. What if you put a room early, you can trap yourself near spikes and die and reset? I think ideally, you can't jump. That is true. You would then push this one down here, but then you can't. Then how would you go up? Hold on. Obstacles. Wait, but then that would get rid of the entire appeal of this thing. The entire appeal of going up this way is to, you can walk on top of a crate to go up there. That was the entire cool thing. Oh, I guess I could put spikes over here. If they somehow got this thing and they got stuck. Could put spikes over here. With the one-way platform extended over here, and then just put some spikes. Just for fun. Just for laughs. Alright, they do this. They do this thing. And then they do this. And then they do this. And then they get this thing, and then... Oh, then it's kind of hard to go back over there, though. Wait a second. I mean, I could make this thing open. This could be opened. Right, that the most basic strat of just holding the direction gets you the clover, which is weird, right? Maybe there could be... Maybe I get rid of this. But then you can't get to the crate. Wait, what? Okay. Then you can't get to the crate. So you can go here. Wait, can you? You can't. You cannot get through. No, you can. But I feel like it is kind of out of the way, though. It's kind of hard to do that. Like, this is the intended path. But it is not clear to me that the player would know to do this. Okay, what if I moved this platform, this obstacle, over here, and then this one, I had this over here, and then that means okay, hold on. Should not have placed the player there. You go this way, right? No, I guess you would. I don't know. Don't really know. So I intend for the player to go this way. They should push. Hold on. What if I had... What if... What if this... What if you had to like do something to get this guy? Right. No, but then... I don't know. You could have it so that you just climb up. You just fall down this way. You push this one. Well, no, because then I guess the point of this is to go up there. I don't know. I'll think about it. I got a lot of things to think about. What if this platform was... What if this platform was lowered? No, what would that do for me? Would I ever put a sign that's like press R to reset? I mean, I guess I could. I guess I could. Maybe I could put like a sign. Maybe this will teach the player to reset. No, because then this assumes they get the clover. I was like, what if I put the clover next to a sign, and you get the sign that says, hey, you can press R to reset. But then it's like, if they never get the clover, they never reset. I mean, I could put... There could be like a sign like over here. Maybe a sign like over here. Press R to reset. No, there's gotta be something. There's gotta be a way to design this so that they know. They know they gotta go this way. What if it was just like a ladder? No. Which sign? A wooden sign. What about if you could simply use knowledge? What if you had knowledge of various things and you can utilize that knowledge to solve puzzles somehow? Whoa, what? Puzzles? That's crazy. Here, what if it was like this actually? What if I actually had this? And then I moved... Wait, hold on. What if it was like this? And then you're meant to push this into this. But then this platform... Wait, hold on. What if it was like this? And then... this obstacle is actually here. And then we have some way that you can go down here. Because like now it's like... Now the way to go is here, right? That is the most straightforward path. Oh, you could just do this. Wait, no, you can't do that. You could do this. Hold on. Press left. Oh, you do this, and now it's not so obvious, right? Now your inclination is to go this way. Oh wait, but then how do you go up? You can't, right? You can't. That's the entire point. Welcome, Good Cat. You're not fond of falling platforms? Well, that's too bad. It's too bad. But now, then if you do that, then you're dead. And it's literally unplayable. Now there's no reason. There's no way to even do that, man. What if I added, you know, like another one-way platform? No, because then that'll block this. Wait. No, yeah, I could. What if I did this? What if you have a ladder here, and then this is getting kind of complicated. It is quite complicated. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's maybe too much stuff going on. You go up here, and then you can go down this way. But then you can't go. Then what's the point? You can't even do this. You can't even go back. There's no way. I've messed it up. I've messed up the entire. I've also moved everything again, accidentally. All right, let's undo that. Let's undo all this stuff. All right, whatever. It's the end of the stream. It is time. I'll figure something out for this one off stream. Maybe I don't worry about it. Yeah, but it's such a cool idea though, right? Bouncing the mushroom on the thing. Yeah, maybe we can reuse this idea for like a later level. I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, we're gonna commit this. Git status. See what we changed. We added some levels. We added this stuff. We changed the map around. Add levels with crate with mushroom crate. And some rooms. Some pre-jump rooms. All right, I'm gonna wait for these files to sync to my main computer, and then we'll find out what day it is and raid someone. Let's see. So just wait several seconds. I will let you know shortly. Okay, it has synchronized. Do I want to close tabs? Yes, I do. Do I want to close tabs? I think I do. Let's close the tabs. All right. Some good designs. We've made no progress though on the later parts of the game. I feel like as this gets longer and longer, we're gonna have like the entire game is gonna be you don't jump. It's gonna be like 50% of the game. Well, guys, you can't jump. And then later, you jump. And then you get a bunch of power-ups in quick succession, and you're like, man, I really wish there was more time spent on ledge grab. Whatever. Alright, what day is it? Ex-Spouse Day. America's Day. Dolphin Day. We got dolphins out here. Gardening Day. Look up at the sky Day. Perfume Day. Let's do, you could do National Look Up at the Sky Day. You could post, like, look up, and then there's, like, clouds emoji. Look up. Sky. Maybe. Sure. National Look Up at the Sky Day raid. And then, you know, the emotes that I suggested. Alright, so who is streaming today? Who am I going to raid today on twitch.tv? Good question. Good question. I am now taking a look at who is streaming. No one that I'm following is doing software and game development. No, that's not true. Zoe is streaming? He's doing software. Get raid Zoe. Is he watching this right now? Is he even there? Is he even talking? No, he's there. Okay. Alright, good stream. Good times today. I'm going to be back on Wednesday with some good old web fishing. And then Friday, more of this stuff. Hopefully by Friday I will have come up with more rooms in this game. Hopefully rooms that come after climbing, because I really need some ideas for climbing. Climbing stage levels. Maybe those climbing stage levels are ones where we climb up and then you push a mushroom. You push a crate with the mushroom on it down to a lower level, and then you can use that to bounce up. Wait, that's what you suggested, right? that was literally, yeah, that was one of the first suggestion we had, even. Well, I don't know. I will think about it. A lot of things to think about. That's game design. Surprisingly fun. Anyway, raid's going. I will see you next time. Goodbye.